It's a crazy world we live in. It can often be difficult to find time to slow down and catch our breath for a moment, let alone live a simple life filled with purpose. But does that really have to be the case? Can living simply complement living more purposefully? What does purpose even mean anyway? Of course, purpose is a deeply personal thing. How we would define it for ourselves is whether we find the things we spend our time and energy on to be meaningful and worthwhile, and if we're living in a way that's true to ourselves. Like anyone else, we're still figuring it out, but we've learned some lessons along the way that can hopefully help you in figuring out your purpose. If we're lacking a sense of purpose, it's easy to think, I just haven't found it yet. But purpose isn't predetermined or fixed to our destinies. Instead of passively waiting to chance upon this mysterious purpose, we can proactively create meaning in our everyday. What we have is choice. We get to decide whether what we spend our time and energy on is meaningful to us. And if it doesn't feel as meaningful as we'd like, we have the choice to do something about it. Too often, we worry about fulfilling outside expectations when we're not even at peace with ourselves. We may think purpose has to be grand and selfless, something that changes the world or at least serves the people around us. But it's difficult to be the best person, the best spouse, family member or friend when we're feeling miserable and unfulfilled on the inside. So start small. What's meaningful to me can feel insignificant or even selfish to you. We've got to put our own oxygen mask on first. Grander purpose can be created down the line once we've got ourselves sorted out. When we're little, we may be the center of our parents' purpose. When we leave the nest, they can redirect their energy towards other things in their lives that they find meaningful. People have different priorities at different stages of life. We all grow and evolve, and so can our purpose. Don't be too hung up on creating the perfect one, because purpose is free-forming and often temporary. During my first internship, I became certain that I valued freedom, autonomy, curiosity, much more than I valued security and routine. Unfortunately, objectively speaking, I'm not more successful today than if I had picked a more conventional path. But I know the right thing to do for myself was to stick to my values and allow them to guide my decisions. There's no point in taking a quicker, shorter path if the destination was not meant for us, because then we may arrive somewhere but still feel completely lost. You don't have to take risks with your career to live in alignment with who you really are. It's normal to value financial security over something that doesn't pay the bills, like freedom. But you can still create meaning in the work you do every day. Think about aspects of your job that energize you. Are there avenues where you can do more of those things, while at the same time avoiding aspects of the job that drain you? Granted, it's easier said than done. Take a pay cut to do something that doesn't stress us out as much, or tolerate what we are used to as an investment for greater long-term financial reward. If we are fixated on comparing outcomes, then it's easy to see why some may find taking a few steps back, even if it's for the sake of our well-being, to be a waste of time and opportunity. But I would argue that even if the outcome was not what you had hoped for, if you enjoyed the process, then it'll never be a waste of time. In our experience, living a simple life has been a perfect complement to helping us live a more purposeful life. Just as decluttering a physical space helps regain capacity of the space, simplifying our lives has provided us with capacity to focus on things that truly matter. Living simply to us means living with more contentment and mindfulness, being content with what we have in the present moment, and being mindful of the choices we make, not letting comparisons with others cloud our judgment. While getting rich can be one way to live a good life, it's certainly not the only way. If we are constantly slogging it out, mindlessly competing with our neighbors on who has the bigger house and bigger garden, then we will be too occupied to think about the more important things in life. If we can let go of unnecessary comparisons and keeping up with appearances for just a moment, then we'll realize that by downgrading our lifestyles, we're essentially giving ourselves an opportunity to upgrade our lives. In our early videos, some viewers commented that our life and our home felt excessively minimal. Some thought we're not minimalist enough. But there's really no such thing as too minimal or not minimal enough. A simple life can come in all shapes and sizes, so march to the beat of your own drum. If we don't compare, then the only measure that matters is our own contentment. Living a simple life doesn't mean you can't desire a better life. Striving for a better life can sometimes involve acquiring more. More isn't always a terrible thing as some purists would suggest. We should be content, but we don't have to be complacent. That said, stay mindful and understand that having more in your life won't magically make it better. The reverse is also true. The most minimal life isn't necessarily the best life. Minimalism isn't a race to zero. It's perfectly fine if you truly want to optimize and have as little in your possession as possible. But the point is, just because someone else is able to live more minimally, doesn't mean you have to do the same to justify your simple life. Living simply doesn't have to be boring. We are allowed to have fun without depriving ourselves of our interests. We can admire fancy cars or enjoy shopping for shoes and clothes. Being mindful doesn't mean we must be above having desire for materialistic things. Mindfulness can also mean having the capacity to appreciate objects of desire as long as we don't succumb to the impulsive desire to own those objects needlessly. We've heard some influencers and bloggers declare that minimalism is dead or that it has failed. Sure, those who follow it because it was the trendy thing to do would have moved on to something trendier by now. Trends come and go, but good concepts and philosophies will never go out of style. Think of it as a way of life and not a trend. Take the best lessons from simplicity, discard what doesn't apply to you, and that wisdom will serve you for a long time. And that's 12 lessons we've learned to live a simpler and more purposeful life. We've kept it brief, but there's actually much more to elaborate on for each of the points. Which of these resonated with you the most? Ask us any questions that you may have down in the comments, or share with us some lessons of your own so that we can all learn from one another. In the meantime, we think you'll enjoy these videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.